In this segment, we'll talk about compressing and gating drums. We'll start with the kick drum. First thing we'll do is gate the kick drum. This will get rid of all the cymbal bleed and snare. On this gate, you only have threshold and release settings. We'll start by raising our threshold until the gate closes. We'll adjust our threshold until the gate opens only when the kick drum hits. We have a fast release time currently. We can try slow and see if we like that any better. Now as you hear, the gate stays open a little too long, so you get a lot of cymbal bleed. We'll go back to fast. Now we'll compress the kick drum. This is not really a very necessary step, but if you have the luxury of compressing it, then we'll show you how to do it. First thing we'll do is set our ratio. Take our ratio up to around 5:1 to start with. Then we'll start lowering our threshold until we get some compression. What I like to do on the kick drum is get it so that it's compressing pretty hard and it's not going to sound very good. And then we'll slow our attack time down until the kick drum starts to sneak through just a little, which can make the kick drum a little punchier. We can also slow our release time down a little bit. Once you have settings you like, you can turn up your makeup gain to make up for a little lost gain. Now, I'll bypass the compressor and gate and let you hear before and after. Before and after. Before and after. Now we'll talk about compressing and gating snares. If you want to gate your snare, you can. I choose not to because it doesn't sound very natural. So we'll move on to compression. First thing we'll do is set our ratio. We'll go somewhere around a 4:1 ratio to start with. And then we'll start lowering our threshold until we get some compression. Now if you notice, it's taking away all the punch of the snare with this setting. Now what we'll do is slow our attack and release downs so that only the initial transient gets through and then it compresses the drum. Now we're barely compressing, so we'll lower our threshold some more and we'll raise our ratio a little bit too. You can also turn up your makeup gain at this point. And I'm going to slow my release down just a little bit more. You have to be careful with slowing your release down too much because the compressor won't release before the next snare hit. Sounds pretty good. Now I'll let you hear the difference before and after compressing. We'll bypass it and let you hear it. And we'll turn it back on.